Check one. Okay, we got audio.
Holy crap, that was awesome.
Holy mother, what a disaster. What's going on, you guys? Oh, good Lord. Hold on. I got such a tickle in my throat. I got so stressed out just now. I was ready to put my foot through everything. How's it going? Sorry about that, you guys. First of all, I was late, then late again. So, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Steve in the canyons of Vermont. This message is brought to you by the passion for ham radio, which is exceeded only by the passion for flatulence. How's that? That's the way I feel right now. Uh-oh, looking for new microphones. Looking at the chat right now. Good heavens. Days. I've been at this for days. I have so much information for you guys. Rob, good to see you. I'll address the stream really quick. Great to see you. Andrew. Yes, no kidding. I bet you could read my lips. Couldn't you? You know how... I wear my heart on my sleeve. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. So, CJ, good to see you. VD9, 9 Alpha 3 Golf Victor, good to see you again, man. Blinker, what's going on? Anyways, you guys, I hope people find me because I didn't relist the stream. It just went live, so my apologies again, you guys. All right, what have I been working on the past few days? SDR software. As you guys know, I've been running an ICOM 7300 for about 2.5 years now. Yes, Ed, too many new toys, exactly. X-Lax goes right... Blabs, what's going on? Oi, oi. Ham radio, yeah. So I've been working on SDR stuff. And as some of you know, I placed an order for a Flex, which the Flex order is in flux. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I will probably give you guys an update maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. I have no idea what's happening. So I'm just going to leave that there. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to start playing with this software. Now, the 7300, we all know, has superb audio. I heard one today. What you were listening to was John, K2YN, and he runs an Anon. And the frustrating aspect of this, as far as interfacing this software to a conventional transceiver, is that the latency is a huge problem. So I've been working on the latency issue using ASIO, and I think the ASIO for all completely screwed up, and my audio is really hot. So let me bring it down a little bit. The ASIO for all, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. This is a driver, it's a free driver that you can basically piggyback onto your sound card in your computer. Now, what I found is I've been running HDSDR, and I started playing the 6400, Peter. That's what I've got, I guess. I don't know if it's coming or I don't know what the status is. So I've been messing with ASIO for all, which is a low latency driver. I've used it in Linux before, and it works really good. And I'm running Windows 7, and I have just a regular old Realtek sound card in it. what I found is the software varies between HDSDR and SDR Console as far as the latency. Now, both of those pieces of software have advantages and disadvantages. I've been able to get the latency down. So what the audio latency is, let me explain this. It's the time at which audio coming out of the speaker of the radio, and let me back up so you guys get a picture of this. This can be done with any radio. So basically you grab the IF out of the RF deck of a transceiver. You send that to a dongle. I'm using a little $20 USB SDR dongle called an RTL SDR dongle. Very popular. So that gets the IF to the computer, and then you can run software like HDSDR, SDR Sharp, SDR Console to interpret that information and give you a real-time pan adapter, as well as rig control through what's called either Omni Rig, or this is all free, or you can run HRD like I've been running on HDSDR. Now, the issue with that is, which has always bugged me, is the latency is so great that if you're trying to work a pileup, right, or you're working a contest, you'll hit the key, but there's so much latency, so much lag in the audio that you'll hit the key too late. So what's actually happening in the transceiver, in the receiver section of the transceiver, is near zero latency. But what you're hearing coming out of the computer has latency to it. So I've been shutting the audio off. So I've been working on the latency thing. Now, this could be a game changer. Okay, I wanted to present this to you guys. This can be done with any rig. And what this does is it allows you to use the rig only for transmit, and it gives you a pan adapter with tremendous filtering capability, far in excess of any of the conventional transceivers out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demo that for you. Now, the ASIO for All driver I've been playing with, I've gotten the latency down. It was regular latency without this driver is about 400 milliseconds, which is huge, huge. I've gotten the latency as low as like 6 to 15 milliseconds, which 15 milliseconds, you have to listen hard to hear the difference. 25 milliseconds is totally workable. There is a slight echo if you were to listen to the two together. What I did was I have a Tascam, it's called a US 1641 sound card. Let me grab the camera. I'll grab the radio camera. I'll show you what it looks like. Hold on. Okay, so that device on the bottom, this is a commercial high-end sound card. This is for a recording studio. I would not recommend going out and spending $600 on something like this. That defeats the purpose. You might as well buy a Flex. So my purpose in this is to get people into this in a cost-effective manner that actually works. Now, the bonus to the ICOM 7300 is that it has awesome transmit audio. Awesome. So if you have, let's say you have an old flagship transceiver and you wanted to run, you want that transmit audio ability. Like, I love the ESSB stuff, right? So a lot of these guys will run like 3 to 4K wide. Now, you can't do it in the middle of a crowded band. You're going to piss a lot of people off. That's obvious. But what I'm going to show you is how it works and what you can do with it, and the differences between HDSDR, which is free, you can look it up online, and SDR Console. Now, HDSDR, I find, is excellent in a contest environment because it has, you can apply multiple notch filters within the passband, within the spectrum of the audio coming in. So if you have birdies, stuff like that, it doesn't do what I want it to do as far as the SSB stuff goes on receive. And so the difference between HDSDR, there's two differences in SDR Console. They're both free. HDSDR is more tasking on the computer, okay? And it does not give you the filtering that SDR Console does. Now, on the other hand, SDR Console is excellent for ESSB. It has a built-in equalizer. And believe it or not, I have the feed from the computer dumping into a head unit. It's like a 200-watt head unit with two big Sony speakers on each side of me. And listening to like K2YN, holy crap. I mean, it's just, literally, it's like ready to crack the plaster off the walls. It is unbelievable to listen to. This is an SDR Console. SDR Console is less tasking on the computer. It has brilliant noise reduction capability. I'll show you the difference. Let's see, there was the drawbacks to SDR Console is it has what's called an auto notch. So if auto notch feature, so you basically click a button and it will auto notch, like if you have a birdie or some interfering signal within the passband, it just wipes it right out. The problem is it's not adjustable. That's a deal breaker if you're in a contest. The only way I can really explain it deeper to you is I have to get it going. So let me get it lit up here. I'll see if we can make this work. Jeez. So hopefully you guys are still with me. I'm not monitoring. Somebody chime in on the stream and just let me know everything's going okay. So here we go. Oh yes, Al. No contest. When I show you this, you're not even going to believe it. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and I'm going to drag the additional control surface onto the screen. I'll get the audio on here, and I'll show you what the AGC feature is terrifying.
Okay, I've got Victor Echo 2 Alpha.
Okay, so let's find a good signal here somewhere.
Almost right.
At the age of 13. So,
I forgot to activate rig control. Hold on. Okay, so I have Omni rig on here, which gives me full rig control with the pan adapter. So let me make sure it's working. I always forget to do that. And you'll notice this is another thing too. I find the SDR Console
Interesting enough, I didn't get in the hobby to do ham radio.
Yes, I did, Blake. I saw the mic review.
Back in those days, I was considered, well, the terms would be a nerd. I hung around with a group of nerdy guys, and we were into
I didn't have to do anything,
control,
Blake.
not just,
I didn't have to do anything to mine. It just worked.
But, we built
works.
rockets, and we built submarines
Okay.
and stuff like that.
So what I'm going to do,
submarines.
if you guys watch
And back in
right
those
here.
days, radio control frequency was
Okay,
the,
this is,
the,
let me back the
27
audio
megahertz,
down
which is
on
the
this
garage door
a little bit.
frequency back in those days.
So I'll go through some of the features. I'll turn this down a little bit.
Jones would be driving her car and press her garage door opening, and the
Okay, so what you've got right here, you can set like your filter widths. Now this is SDR Console, the filter widths. You can create your own filter widths, okay? So I have an ESSB filter width which covers the audio spectrum from 30 hertz all the way to 5,000 hertz. Phenomenal for ESSB. So you can create your own, all right, and set your default. You can create as many as you want, and they will go in this window. Let me minimize this because I don't need to see that. That's the rig control for the 7300. It just basically shows me what frequency the rig is on, which if it's locked, it's up here at the top. Okay, so here is one of the most powerful features on the SDR console. Phenomenal. So actually, what I'm going to do, fall out of my chair here. So I am going to get the audio up, and I'm going to show you what this does. All right.
For 57 there, Corky. I think it was around that time when the CB band was created out of the 11-meter hand band, Corky. So did they use part of 27 megahertz back then as a hand band for RC planes? Over.
Okay.
Yes, they did. 27, I want to think, that was part of the hand band. 27, I want to say 0.255, but I could be, a long time ago. But
turn the volume down on my headphones. God, they're killing me.
And, they were all, sort of FM.
Okay.
Anyhow,
so actually, I'm going to do it this way.
Licenses to set up systems up on 220.
Okay, so if you look down here, you've got the threshold. This is AGC. I found slow is really good. You can vary this. Now, this is where this type of software comes in really handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this does as far as making things very, very quiet. Let me turn noise reduction off. Bring the audio back in.
And the frequency was on the 27 megahertz band.
Okay, so I'm going to roll this.
Today, I have no idea where they operate that kind of stuff. I know garage doors openers, they got their own.
Okay, so that's no AGC. Well, it's active.
Of frequencies now.
So what you can do.
Different access codes, tones that change all the time for security. But I think they're up in the above the 902 band. I think now for garage door openers, or 440, maybe one of those bands. Over.
Okay.
They could be.
Now the noise reduction feature. Check this out.
I don't really know.
Has a couple different noise reductions on it.
The radio
this is far superior.
Interested in the rockets.
The noise reduction feature in SDR console is far superior to HDSDR. No contest here. So let me kick the noise reduction on. You guys, check out how quiet the receive is on this thing.
Explosive. But I did get picked for that.
Check that out.
And I think because I liked electronics and radios, and my buddy Bruce.
Is that unbelievable? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable this.
It was fun.
And I'm going to bring in the raw audio.
They're all servos, they're all mechanical, and
so now I'm going to try and bring in the raw audio on just the 7300. This is a direct feed from the 7300. So hang on here. I'm going to have to create Hang on, folks. I'm basically creating a new scene. Let me get the audio on so you can listen to it while I do this. But you got to hear the difference between the rig and the software.
And my pride would not let me do ham radio or CB activity. I would not talk to anybody other than the people who were out in the vehicles. But that was good times, and that was good stuff. N3 FES W2AAT, and your solid S8 there. Go ahead.
Okay, Corky, very fine. Yeah, you're good as mine here. Pretty steady here. W2AAT is the send 3 FES returning. Okay, Corky. I enjoy the older equipment. It's like on 738 nights. You don't have to really tune up and dip the plate and the current, grid current. Like the older rigs you had to. Basically turn it on, select the band, hit the tuner, and you're ready. But I do have a few older rigs here in the studio. I have a Yaesu FT101EX, which is a hybrid, half tube, half electronic. Yaesu FT101 Zulu Delta. And a HW101. And I have a Helicrafters SX101 Alpha. That was built in 55, and that's in really good shape. I put that at the Hamfest, good 10-15 years ago. And I still run my novice rig from 1985 Elmer gave me, and he's been gone for a while. At 03Y. He used to call him Merle, but his name was William, but everybody used to call him Merle. So that was my Elmer back then, and he gave me a jerk TR4, and I remember coming home after school, doing the homework, and so they allowed me to hook it up in the attic there, so that's where I put them. And boy, I remember that was a big thing back then. You come home, get your homework done, and then get on the radio. And straight key, strictly CW then. Didn't have no voice privileges, didn't have any privileges like the new guys have now with the new licenses and everything. But made several contacts here during the May on 40 and daytime party on 15. I remember operating 15 there. But I miss the old days there. Corky, over.
Oh yeah, they certainly were interesting, Brian. I also had an SX101A. I loved it, and you move along, you sell stuff to buy new stuff. But for years, I ran a SX101A, a HT37 Helicrafters, and Gonset GSP 101A amplifier. And it was a good piece of equipment. I liked that. I really did. I loved the SX101A. I keep looking, and it's the old story. I've got to scoot out here because we're getting close to dinner time. I got to turn the grill on. When you're young, you look at all this really nice equipment and you can't have it because you can't afford it. First you're in high school, and then it's the academics, and then it's the work world and children. And then when you get to be an old guy, you can afford it. But you move into these places where you don't have all that much room. My ham shack, if you look on QRZ, is in a closet. And so, I was telling my wife, the other day, I said, I would really like to have a common line. And we sort of looked in the room and said, oh, yeah, sure. You're lucky you have what you have. When you travel through, I had to rent Heath, SD220. As a matter of fact, I still have an SD200.
Okay. That's a bust. That's a bust. Here we go. What I'm going to show you. Let me get a clean signal here. I'm going to get a clean signal. And what the heck? I'll get a clean signal here, and we'll move on. Okay.
I commend you on staying in the hobby that long.
5 by 9 plus 10.
EA3JE, Whiskey Delta 9 Lima Portable.
Roger, Roger. Thank you for the good senior report.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch, but you're going to have to listen to the radio through the microphone. Here we go. Going to switch. Okay, that is the SDR.
7300, IC 7300, homebrew, 500.
And we're going back to the
mobile antenna.
Going back to the radio. This is receive on the radio only. Going now.
Thank you very much for the good contact.
Going back.
73 and good evening. Easy America 3, Japan Echo.
Now you tell me which is more fatiguing to listen to.
Kilo Charlie 0, Julia John.
We're going back.
Easy America 3, Japan Echo. Thank you very much. Your 10 over 9. Your 59 plus 10 here in Barcelona, Spain. The name is Lou, London, Oscar, Uniform. Louis, my name.
Going back.
Charlie 0, Japan, Germany Echo. Easy America 3, Japan Echo. Over.
Come down here and see what this is.
Message coming through from the Plain States and down from Kansas and Nebraska and southern Iowa and crossing over into Illinois.
There we
and
go.
all that.
That's an ESSB signal. That's ESSB on Superb, isn't it? Hopefully you're listening through headphones or a good set of speakers.
Because of the winds and so forth that develop with the pressure changes there and all that stuff that's going on. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway.
Noise reduction off.
I use the silicone grease, too. I try to be careful with it because, you know, it's non-conductive. So I've seen some guys just plaster it all over
reduction
everything
on.
and then put the PL259 and whatever back together. And I said, well, maybe that's not a good idea. I mean, you want it in there to take up the area where you might get condensation.
Okay, this is
and
the
so forth, but,
7300.
There
we go.
Use it on the actual conductor itself. But anyway, just my opinion. Yeah, back on that pressurized 9913, I still have the canister.
Going back.
Freon tank and the pressure gauge. It was nice,
okay.
Pressure gauge about.
So now what we're going to do.
See it, from I had it behind the.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to light up HDSDR. So let me get rid of this guy. And we will launch HDSDR.
And, move connectors around or, just up on the back of the rig. And when you're in the shack itself, it looked like everything was nice and clean and no cables, no junk and whatever. But anyway, the interesting thing was.
Hey, Jerry, what's going on? Okay, so what we have right now is HDSDR running, and as you can see, it looks like the CW contest is going. That's this mess down here, I assume. Look at that disaster. Okay, so this is really my preferred go-to for contest type software. Now, you will notice that the sound quality is nowhere near as good, but there's certain things you can do with this software that is really superb. Yes, I will do that, Al. I'll wind it right in. That's a great demo. I found the 7300 is severely lacking. You can get in about 2.2 wide before the audio disappears, and I found that you can wind it pretty tight just with a cheap receiver, like one of the dongles. So, all right. Good heavens. Okay, so let me get the audio back on, and I'll show you what this sounds like. I'll also, let's get the pan adapter so it's somewhat reasonable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it, because there's AM broadcast coming in now, so I'll keep it between 7125 and 7200. You'll notice that the ease of use on this, it's very easy. It is more exponentially more tasking on the computer. I have it set up so that I can key the transceiver with the spacebar. So let me make sure my power's at 0. So I'll go ahead and key it, show you what happens. So that was just keyed. I just keyed the rig. So I put the rig into transmit with the spacebar on the keyboard. Do it again. Okay, so with SDR Console, you actually have to key the rig with the foot switch or the transmit key on the front of the radio. That's another drawback to SDR Console, but if you're used to a foot switch, who cares, you know? Also, latency is tough to get low on HDSDR. It actually has higher latency, which can be an issue. So let me go to Lou here. Okay, you see this heterodyne?
CQDX, CQ Delta, X-ray. CQDX,
okay, you see that heterodyne, that birdie right there? You can click right here, and bang, it's gone. That's a notch. That's a manual notch.
Hotel Juliet calling CQDX.
And you can make it as wide as possible.
CQ Delta X-ray.
So if you can hear the splatter in the background, right? So the easiest way to get rid of that is to literally drag down here at the bottom end of the spectrum, drag this. Drag it into 3 kilohertz, or apply a notch to get rid of the birdie, and there you go. That's what you can do with this stuff. I found that the fidelity of HDSDR is not as good.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Mike Hotel Juliet. WB2MHJ.
Let's go down to here.
If you're working on
also, the way the pan adapter works on HDSDR, the point and click is much nicer. Much nicer. But I much prefer the SDR console to listening on ESSB.
Into that sort of stuff, I need to take frequent breaks to clear up my head. Well, I'm running an ICOM rig, the IC7300, with a solid-state amp, about 500 watts out. And my antenna is a large horizontal loop. The antenna is resonant on 80 meters, so it's a full wavelength long on 80, and it's about 50 feet up, hanging from 4 to 3.
I tell you, my age, Gary, I'm 72, and I was just not one of those people.
One with Zulu Delta 7, Victor Charlie, St. Helena Island a little while ago. We were on for, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then I had the one that was sort of short.
Yes, Al. Don't you love HDSDR the way it looks? It's just so nice. So nice. You know, SDR Console works a little bit better, like I said, for general rag chew. The latency is better. It's shorter. On SDR Console, it's less, which is better for working pile-ups, but man, dude, it's a tough call. I'll show you what the latency sounds like between the two. Let me get I'll bring the radio online as well, and you'll hear the latency. Let me demo that for you guys. Here we go. Okay, so that was the audio coming out of the radio near real time, near zero latency, and that was HDSDR. You know, so that's kind of, that's a deal breaker. But man, I love HDSDR. When you kick it into transmit, I'll go ahead and do it again. It is cracking, and I am running OmniRig, just to let you know. So easy. Always works. I don't know, man. Pretty cool stuff. Okay. We'll go back to, I'm going to go back to SDR Console, and I will pinch that sucker. That's SDR Console, Al, the one Simon Brown wrote. Going back to SDR Console. And hey, Andrew, catch you later. No problem, dude. Oh.
What's going on there?
Okay, so this is SDR Console. So what I'm going to do, Al, this is for you. I'm going to pinch this sucker down. So let me get a...
And what else was I going to comment on?
Okay, here we go. We are at
kind of an interesting
30 hertz to 5,000 hertz
video I'll send you. Well, it's a video and
on ESSB wide. So I'm going to go to 3.6 kilohertz, which is standard.
Well, what the heck is it? You know, down VE3KRI gets this.
I know, no kidding, Sigma.
Bulletin. You know,
no kidding.
Canadian Ontario bulletin.
You're going to 3.4.
I used to read it. It comes out like once a week, and I used to read it, you know, during the net when we get it, you know, kind of at the end. But
3.2.
I quit doing that because the conditions have been so el stinko.
I'm going to jump to 2.8.
You know, hardly anybody's around at the end. And
still pretty good. Going to 2.6.
So he hasn't been doing too much of that, but he sends it to a few of us that ask to get it all the time. It's only about
2.4.
I don't know, 3 or 4 of us. But it had kind of an interesting story about a
okay, 2.2
lady.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to...
Nova Scotia, I think.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip back and forth between... I'm going to wind the 7300 in at 2.2. So let's bring this in to 2.2. And I'm going to switch back and forth between the two. So here we go. You guys can listen to what's going on, because this is something I haven't done yet.
They had like, you know, I don't know, 59 different...
this is the console, SDR Console.
Set up, and they had flyers from all over Europe and, of course, Canada and whatever. And she taught them
at 2.2 wide.
Because that was something
and
that was still used then as a way to get through. When,
this is the radio, the 7300.
Breakers like is on the generator.
Pretty good.
They're designed to function. They're rated at 80% low.
About her.
SDR Console.
And she's still on the air. And it works mainly
audio's warmer. You notice that? So now what we're going to do, let's create a new filter. Add. Let's go.
Certainly would. Who was? Yeah, I would enjoy that. Who was the American actor? I want to say Hedy Lamarr, who was I don't know, a mathematician of sorts. And she basically is credited with it.
What do you think?
Oh boy, You're stretching into the reaches of my right-only memory, and I'm just having trouble with the
Let's do,
I think so. Yeah, I do, but don't make me try to expound on it right now. I can't get it all out.
You know where he happens to me originally.
Good Lord.
And he developed what we call refined, but conceptually it was he's credited with well, I guess you're going to load all the furniture up, put it in the back of the truck, and bring it down on...
I wonder if this is in hertz or kilohertz.
No, we have another plan.
Anybody got an answer?
She bought a kind of a nice cover set that's just made for this whole thing.
Well, one is direct fed, Al.
The furniture itself is all aluminum. I made sure of that.
One is direct fed, and the other one is...
Although there is a little bit of metal in it, for some of the
through the speaker
on there for the.
So the sound quality is going to be very different.
When you sit on it, it swivels. It tilts back and forth, and so there's got to be some heavy stuff there that handles that, and probably a nut or two that. Well, I don't know, but anyway, it's been out there in the rain and so forth, and. It looks pretty good, but she got this the cover that will cover the. There's a center table and 4 chairs.
So what does this look like?
And I took the umbrella part off this afternoon, and I've got that stored in the garage, and so no problem. So. Yeah, we're just going to cover it all up and leave it out there, and that way it's there in the spring, and pull the cover off and put the umbrella back up, and we're back in shape.
You know what? Because I'm still learning the software. All right. I'm going to go back to HDSDR. This is the best way to do it. This I can do.
60 amp square D breaker.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is... Okay, 7300 is at 1.2. Okay, now let me mute this for a second. The 73, the Flex, I had Rick demo the 6000 series for me. You can still hear the audio coming through at 1.2 kilohertz bandwidth, which is, it's a little rough, but yeah, you can hear it. Pretty funny. So I'm going to go ahead and pinch this sucker and see how far we can pinch it before everything disappears. So here we go. This is on the HDSDR.
It was so high, I just threw it out. I figured this is impossible. And then he said that doesn't include the propane. You have to get a propane tank from the company, and you have to get propane for it. So I knew you had to get propane. I didn't know you had to take out the fuel. So instead I got... And it's not it.
If I can. I can't seem to pinch the stupid thing.
Kilowatt Delta 8 Victor Tango. Well, I'll tell you, The generator that I have, I've got two of them. The 25K is a little mobile. That's my.
There we go. Okay, I'm going to switch. Here we go. Okay, so that's 1.2 kilohertz. Okay, that's in the software. Going back out.
Did have to repaint the tank, and the entire weather housing had to be taken down, and he had to have it repainted. But he had a lot of labor, not a whole lot of money, about $400 for all this sandblast and paint work. And
this is YL voice talking, and
okay.
That was his wife Rosie.
Here is.
And she's licensed. Now, I didn't know
here's
that.
Some ESSB stuff.
Her call is,
so I'm going to dump this,
and
we're going to jump back over to SDR Console. Here we go.
Or maybe
Boy, that sounds better, doesn't it?
Push to talk again. I keep doing that. Yeah, anyway.
No, this isn't Glenn. This is just some free software I'm playing with.
Kind of how I met her. He was at a ham fest.
This software for rag chewing, this is just cranking.
Father, I think. And that's where they met. And so I don't think she was licensed at the time. Her father was, but that's where they met. And the rest is history. How about that?
That's a great story. It's like before he... That's a pretty slick story. That's pretty neat. That's a pretty neat story.
Okay. This is where SDR Console lacks. You hear that splatter in there? It's just impossible to deal with on SDR Console. You know, pretty much the only thing. Radio Ditch, this is attached to a $20. Hold on, let me mute it. So this is attached to a $20 RTL SDR dongle. I think you can get the entire kit for like 25 bucks. So yeah, it's pretty neat. This is the drawback. You hear that splatter in there? Pretty much you're stuck. All you've got is an auto notch. You have no manual notch capability on SDR Console. So, you know, you're pretty much busted. The only thing you can do is narrow the bandwidth down.
or Dick on CW, the VE3JEV, I think you're talking about, and
Okay, we're running real wide right now.
License, and she's the one that's into
from like I think 40 hertz all the way to 5 kilohertz.
Even comes down to the U.S. to do that. So I did that one time when we were having a group,
okay, I just kicked it into transmit with the foot pedal, so it does kick the rig into transmit.
Take an afternoon off and have a good time and all that kind of stuff, and got into that. Yeah, it was okay, but. It didn't float my boat, Mike. But anyway, 7-3, take care. Good. Hope your session goes well tomorrow. We'll look for you in the morning. WK3T from K8LJ. Take care. 7-3.
Yeah, well, it's a breeze. There's really nothing to it, to tell you the truth. Line dancing. I don't really remember Richard ever mentioning that to me. And she ain't no spring chicken, I would guess.
Yeah, Sigma's. The Flex isn't here yet. I have no idea what's going on with it. No clue. I'm probably going to find out tomorrow at some point. We suspect that they actually shipped it. I actually called to cancel the order. So I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess tomorrow I find out. I have some issues so far with Flex. Their customer service and their interaction, their communication is absolutely abysmal. Horrifying. It's bad. So, I'm just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. That's all I'm going to say about that. There we go. Okay, I am actually going to... check the tune. That's the matchmaker, just to let you know. So let's see if we could actually... Glenn, I don't know. That's why I'm playing with this stuff. If they yank my chain, you're welcome, Al. No problem. If they yank my chain, I'm going to see how they respond, because some things happened last week that were a little unnerving, and I'm not going to get into it now regarding Flex. Just very uncool. Being a small business owner, it's something I would never do. Never even offer or suggest to a customer. Doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence in their abilities. I know it's a great product, but hey John, but I have some very deep concerns over it. So we'll see how that whole thing sorts itself out. So wait and see. John Boy's in here. Sigma. I always forget that's your YouTube thing, John. Anyways, let me see if there's actually somebody I can run my trap with in here. So this will be the first time transmitting, so we'll see what happens, see if all hell breaks loose. This is the ultimate test for this stuff. So I'll get the audio back on here.
Court, and then I want to pick the other station up and have him join us.
Sure. You're 20 over here. Easy 20 over.
Tom, shooting the trap to
I can't remember what part of Canada we went through, but all I can remember is all the signs were in French. Nothing was English.
But I'm too lazy. Pleasure meeting you tonight. We'll look for you down the log, and fine on your
running
antenna.
About...
It's doing a great job. We'll say...
Just to let you guys know, running about, looks like about 15 to 18 milliseconds of, 15, 20 milliseconds. 20 milliseconds of latency, so it's not too bad. Not bad. That's doable.
With
the guys will tell you real quick how to use them, but that's something like on that spectrum, that waterfall spectrum, that is really...
You're up and down, but mostly up, over.
Yeah, same here. You work.
Out 500 watts output into an end-fed long wire.
It's just ridiculous.
You know you're getting old when a 69-year-old looks hot.
Yeah, why do I have I have more straight current this time. I wonder if my SWR looked like it went up a little bit when I came back over here.
Yes, ditch. That's what I'm concerned about. It's unnerving. That I think that they are. I've been talking to Al about that. Well, I really can't go into it until I talk about him. I'm going to give him every opportunity to actually straighten this out. It is a holiday week. But a friend of mine who's pretty tight with Flex, I think it's my gut impression is Flex is a good old boys club. That's what I think. I think if you're a big proponent of Flex, and I think they bend over backwards to make you happy. But if you're just a general consumer, you place an order for a rig, the communication is basically non-existent if you have a problem, and that worries me. That's my biggest concern. Is now you'll talk to guys that have Flexes that have great success getting through to them, but let me just give you an example on the stream, and this is the only thing I'm going to say. Hey, David, what's going on? I had an issue with an ICOM a while back. This was a couple years ago. Now, you can get on the phone with any ICOM authorized service center in the United States and get through to technical support right there, probably with not much more than a 5 to 10 minute wait, but you will get someone. Flex, forget it. If they return your call in probably 3 or 4 days, that'll be a miracle. So that's what I'm concerned about. Makes me very nervous. And, that being said, they brag about being a government contractor. Well, if I were them, I would not brag about that. Because, like I've told friends of mine, being a government contractor, is not something I would kind of brag about, Anybody who knows anything about the federal government knows that it's the most inefficient system and disorganized cluster, on the face of the earth. Anybody who's a government contractor is also not hurting for money. All you have to do is look at the amount of money that's wasted on these projects, like on these different aircraft. Lockheed Martin, Boeing, they get huge amounts of money. I mean, I was looking at one project, it was over $500 billion, and it was scrapped because they couldn't get it to work, wasted. Now, they got their money, you know what I mean? The government contractors got paid. So, in my mind, there's really no excuse for that kind of behavior. Now, that being said, and I agree with you, Ditch, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, but if they torch me, I will have no problem torching them. No problem. I will set them on fire on these streams. So it's just a wait and see game. And I don't, like I said before, I don't drink anybody's Kool-Aid. I don't care what radio I have. I don't care who makes it. All I care about is whether it does what I want it to do. I'm not loyal to any manufacturer. I don't care. So anyways, geez, there was something I was going to say, but it escapes me. So let me look around here, see if there's actually somebody I can get and actually give this a first run, and then I'm going to close it down. But I'm intrigued, just to let you know, you guys, about getting these rigs something in place so you can transmit. Because, and I was talking to my friend Al yesterday, I really believe, hang on. I really believe what you're going to see coming in the probably very near future. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2 years from now. Yeah. Unfortunately, you know, getting back to that thing, Flex knows that they've got a good deal going. There is nothing on this planet that can touch what a bare bones 6000 series Flex can do. There's nothing. 7610, 7851, $12,000 radio can't do what a Flex can do. Now, it may have a couple things it does better, but is a person in the real world ever going to notice? Probably not. Because the receivers on the Flexes are superb. It's just the control you get is, you know, it's their thing. Their noise filtering, I don't even have one in my hands, and I've never even run one before, and even I know that that's true. Brick wall filtering, you can't do it with a conventional rig, but what Al and I have been talking about on the system is, I think you're going to see in the next couple years. You guys have heard of plugins, right? So what's the big thing? What are the two big things that are holding this software back? One is latency, and the other thing is the filtering, the plugins. Somebody is going to come up with they're going to write up a plugin with an algorithm that targets specific types of noise. Coming out of the recording studio realm, there's all kinds of plugins. Waves Gold bundles, good Lord. And this is like 10 years ago. I don't even know what's out there now. But somebody's going to come out with a plugin that'll plug right into some of this software, and it's going to wipe out noise and completely change the game. And I'm telling you, you could take an old transceiver that has superb transmit capability, like an old Kenwood TS850, 950 SDX. I threw that in there for UL. Take an IF out, get cat control to it, and run software like this, and imagine what's possible with $50 of outlay. If that, let's say $50 for a dongle and some cabling. The software is free. So I'm telling you, times are changing. This is what I'm doing here is right on the threshold. The latency is an issue. We need to have the latency down. And in hard disk recording, this particular sound card here runs at about 15 milliseconds, which is unnoticeable. You cannot hear it. So it's possible. It's doable. It's just finding people who are interested in this sort of thing that know how to write this stuff and to create this stuff. So I really think that's where we're going. That's enough of my yap. Let's see what's going on here.
Alfredo, yeah, your 100 watts is doing well. Very, very nice. IZ8 DEP, Whiskey Bravo 2, Mike Hotel Juliet. Yes, your 100 watts is doing a good job into North Carolina. 5x8, a little bit of QSB, but Q5.
Go, and the missile is about 12 minutes out.
Function with that way I can just go ahead and put out the calls, you know, on the little recorder that's built in it. So I don't have to stand here using my...
Alfredo, we will say 73s. Thank you for calling me. Pleasure meeting you. And we'll look for you down the log. May God bless you and your family. And we'll look for you.
I think this guy's calling CQ. but I'll try and get him.
Lots of good DX to you, Alfredo. Italy Zulu 8, Delta Echo Papa, Whiskey Bravo 2, Mike Hotel Juliet. Go ahead.
I'm going to have to flip the antenna around because I can't hear him.
Very good, Alfredo. Very, very nice. Nice QSO. Pleasure is all mine, and I hope to talk to you again in the future. Lots of good DX to you, and may you enjoy this wonderful, wonderful hobby, making friends all over the world.
I agree, Radio Ditch. I agree.
DEP, Whiskey Bravo 2, Mike Hotel.
See, normal latency on this software is anywhere from 3 to 500 milliseconds, and that's just unacceptable, man. That's atrocious.
Bye-bye, Alfredo. QRZDX.
Yeah, he's okay.
Can we do a quick one stateside?
AK, Whiskey 9 Kilo Kilo, W9 Kilowatt Kilowatt calling CQ and listening.
CQ 6040 meter. This is Delta Canada 5 Venezuela Uruguay calling CQ 40. Okay, go in. Charlie Tango 1.
Hello CQ, calling CQ. CQ calling CQ from W9KK, Whiskey 9 Kilo Kilo, W9 Kilowatt Kilowatt calling CQ and listening.
Okay, Charlie Tango.
Whiskey 9 Kilo Kilo, Whiskey 9 Kilowatt Kilowatt, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike.
Yeah, Kilowatt 1 Golf Mike Mike. Kilowatt 1 Golf Mexico. Very good. Thanks for the call, and good afternoon, good evening. Name here is Cliff, Charlie, London, Italy, Florida. My name is Cliff. I'm located near Chicago, about 60 miles, about 1 hour south of Chicago. K1 Golf Mike Mike, W9KK.
Okay, Cliff. Yeah, fantastic, man. Thanks for picking me up. I'll give you a report on the next go. I'm not going to stay too long. I'm just testing a system out, and it's unstable. Name is Steve, Sierra Tango, Echo, Victor, Echo. And the QTH is over here in the state of Vermont, about 15 miles north of Manchester, southwest corner there. Whiskey 9 Kilo Kilo, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, over.
Okay, Steve, real good, man. K1 Golf Mike Mike, W9KK, very good. Okay, on close to Manchester, Vermont here. Yeah, very good indeed, and I guess that's Danby, Vermont, yeah. I'm looking you up on QRZ, the electronic logger that I have. When I log you into the logbook, it brings up your picture and it also brings up your address. So it says Danby, Vermont. Very good. I run here ICOM 7300, about 800 watts right now. And the antenna is a tower-fed sloper up about 50 foot to the apex there, Steve. Go back over to you, K1 Golf Mike Mike, W9KK.
Okay, W9KK, K1GMM, Vermont. Fantastic there, Cliff. Thanks for the info. I, too, am on a 7300, and I am live streaming. Currently, I'm doing an SDR presentation, interface to the 7300. With a group of guys on the stream, my K1GMM YouTube channel, and running, which I'm having problems with stability on the SDR console. Seems like HDSDR is running better, but looking at the rig, and I'm using it for using the rig for transmit and real-time monitoring with all the filtering and everything through SDR Console with an IF out of the 7300. Working on the latency issue. I've got the latency down to, I've seen it as low as 15 milliseconds. So that's a real obstacle for this type of application, you know. And you're 5.9 solid there, Cliff. So really good signal and great audio. 7300 is a great rig, isn't it? Whiskey 9 Kilo K1GMM. How copy?
Steve, are you running the ICOM now, or are you running the K3?
No, I'm running the ICOM. I'm on the 7300 right now. Over.
Really good. What microphone are you running?
Okay, I am running a Charlie Alpha Delta. It's like a $60 large diaphragm studio condenser. I put it up against some really big microphones, and it holds its own. It's a really good mic. And running that, I'm driving that with a Behringer Ultra Gain tube preamp, and also a 30-band Ultragraph EQ, and that dumps into the radio via Heil cable straight into the front of the set there. Over.
Yeah, okay, real good. Well, it sure sounds good, no doubt. Very good indeed. K1 Golf Mike W9KK sounds really good. So very good quality microphone there, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm running the ICM microphone, the Heil ICM mic on this. You know, one thing nice about it, I mean, you know, most of your microphones will actually work on this, except dynamic mics. You get a dynamic mic, you need a little bit of extra on the outside, you know, because electret microphone is fine for this, but you get anything, if you get a dynamic microphone, you need a little help. I found that out the hard way and the expensive way. I had a PR40 and a PR781, and I tried both of those on this radio, and boy, I tell you what, I just couldn't.
Hey, Randy, what's going on, dude?
Dynamic mic to drive the rig at all, man. It did a very poor job. So I ended up getting an SM30 was a good mic. That's a real good mic. But I like a boom mic, and I can keep my hands off of it and just be able to just talk and have both my hands free. So we finally ended up with this here ICM mic, and it works out real good for me. I like it. But yeah, that's great. Yeah, I've had mine for about 2 years now, and it just performs very well for me. I really like the way it works, Steve. K1GMM W9KK.
Yeah, W9KK, K1GMM. Yeah, that's the issue. Yes, the dynamic mics, they can be wonky a little bit, can't they? Tough. The impedance mismatch is difficult because I think the radio really wants to see. I'm not really sure, but they do carry voltage down the mic lines for what do you call it? Good Lord, I'm having a brain fart. You know what I'm talking about. An electret style capsule in the microphones. But you know, you can cram an awful lot of audio through these things. You know what I mean? For only running 2.9 wide, I've had guys tell me, they're like, good Lord. They look at the pan adapters and they go, well, you got audio coming through from about 60 hertz all the way to 4K. Which is pretty remarkable on 2.9 kilohertz of bandwidth, you know. So their audio, their capability to you know, the pipe that everything flows through is very, very large. You know, I'd love to see what one could do running at 4K wide, but that ain't gonna happen. Listen, Cliff, I'm going to get out of here. There's stations. I have my back to them. I'm actually pointed southwest on the array right now, but I can hear a station in Europe starting to compete with you. They're blowing in the back door here. So Let me get out of here, and you're probably going to hear him shortly because I know you're a little behind us. But and the guys in the stream say they've talked to you. There's one guy in here says he's spoken to you before, and he thinks you're a really great guy. So there you go. Thanks for picking up the call, Cliff. I'm going to get out of here. Say 7-3. Have a good evening. Hope you had a really great Thanksgiving. K1GMM, over.
Yeah, very good. Okay, Steve, very good. Well, thanks for giving me a short call, and maybe next time we can talk a little longer there and compare notes a little bit more on the 7300. But yeah, you guys sure sounded real good. I like that audio. Take care and enjoy the Sunday. We did have a good turkey day, and I trust you did too. Catch you down the wire there, Steve. My pleasure. K1 Golf Mike W9KK. All the best. 73, Steve.
Yeah, thanks again, Cliff. All the best there. We'll catch you. I'm sure we'll catch you again. I've heard you before. I'll give you another shout. We'll pick up right where we left off. 7-3, have a great week coming up. All the best. K1GMM. Alrighty. So, yeah. So let me get this mess going here. Woohoo! It's a madhouse. Anyways, that's basically it in a nutshell. I just banged the microphone because I'm a nightmare on two butt cheeks. But I make an awful mess, you guys. I really do. So, see if I don't need that thing that close to me. I can never figure out where the tabs are. So anyways, yeah. What do you guys tell me I got something on my shirt? Anyways, you guys have a good evening. I'm going to get out of here. What is the consensus? SDR Console is brilliant for rag chew. The AGC function on it is superb. It's really superb. But for some reason, it's not stable. You notice there were some glitches in there, I noticed in the software. Now, granted, I'm tasking the living daylights out of the computer because I'm streaming. Streaming just slaughters this thing, man. It's brutal. So, I don't know. HDSDR seems to be an all-around better option. But there's two things. The stability. Oh, I meant to mention SDR Console likes NVIDIA GeForce cards. Why guys write software for this like this? Because the graphics are nothing special on SDR Console. Nothing against Simon Brown. I love the guy. He's amazing. But they much, like, I'll give you an example. I have a Radeon. It's not a Radeon. It's a gigabit AMD graphics card in here. It's got like 4 gigs of RAM. Well, I installed GeForce. And it's like 15 years old. The GeForce GTX 1500 or something like that. And guess what the software defaults to? It doesn't default to the good card. It defaults to the freaking crap GeForce card, which is, you know, it wasn't crap in its day. But why? That's why I think you'll see it glitching. It'll glitch. It's not smooth. So if I were to bring up, let's bring up HDSDR again. And we'll launch this puppy. And mute it. Look at how smooth that is, right? I'm going to roll the power back. Bring the drive level all the way back to 0. So there's now output, no output. And I'll hit the key. And boy, I'll tell you, this software all around is much better software than the SDR console. I hate to say it because I love the console, but frustrating. I wish I could get some of the features in this software that you can get in the and this seems to be very stable, this software, which is really cool. Very stable. And also, this is another plus. Yes, second computer dedicated for streaming. The problem is I interact so much with the stream, and I have all these scenes running, and it's just easier to have, because I have 4 displays here, it's easier to have everything on one computer right in front of me. I agree with that. Yeah, Rob, I don't know. I'm hoping not. I know the new 6000 series radios, they are not tasking on a computer at all. They're incredibly efficient. This is a voracious beast. I light up this stream and I'm telling you, it crushes this computer. Crushes it. You know, so it's tough. And that's the difference between the Flex. The 6000 series are basically a server, the way I understand it. A server with an RF deck and a PA. That's basically what they are. The computer itself does nothing except basically give you a display for the control surface. So the computer isn't actually doing anything. It's all in the Flex itself in the 6000 series. So it's, you know, it's just what we got to deal with. Now, here's something interesting, right? I've been looking at the AirSpy HF Plus. And the AirSpy HF Plus, have you guys, I don't know if you guys have looked at this. I've been tempted to buy one and play with them, but they're not cheap. They're about $200. Now, supposedly they're near zero latency, extreme low latency, because they use the Ethernet, which is what the Flex uses. The 6000 actually uses the Ethernet in the house, and there's no latency on internet. So, yeah, John, I agree with SDR, but SDR console for like ESSB stuff, killer. The bad part about SDR console too, I know I'm getting sidetracked because I'm keeping track of the chat. You can't run HRD piggybacked onto it. See, I like to run, and HRD is a very efficient program. And that gives me the entire control surface for all the parameters that I adjust in the radio. It's beautiful. So that's a beautiful thing about HDSDR. You can use HRD on it, piggybacked onto it. It's brilliant. With no additional task on the computer. So, you know, getting back to the AirSpy, the HF Plus, you cannot find any information online on how to deal with this latency issue. I spent hours researching, trying to figure out if the AirSpy would actually work. I don't know. I think the best thing to do with the AirSpy, right? This is how you could get the latency to be near zero. Yes, in Radio Ditch, the filtering on that is terror. It is amazing on the AirSpy. Really cool. So the only thing I can think of is to install the AirSpy, right, on a separate computer and run it on a server, much like the Flex. And I've seen guys even do it on a Raspberry Pi. Plug it into your Ethernet. Grab that on your computer and run software on the AirSpy. The problem is this software requires the IF. So this is the confusing part to me. I don't believe the IF is actually streaming through the Ethernet. So if you could grab the IF via Ethernet and use software like this, total game changer. You're talking zero latency, racking. If you guys come across anything, my email's good on QRZ. You can contact me through the stream or anything else. Just send me an email if you have any information on that, because I'm exploring this for other people to give them options. You know, there's always a bigger and better mousetrap. So that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I will catch you guys later. Tough call. Anyways, unfortunately, bang for the buck, for the money. Yeah, there's other SDRs on the market, but there's the Anon, which, yeah, I'd love to. I wish I had $5,000. I'd just buy an Anon and be done with it. They're superior anyways. They really are. The audio. I listen to guys on Flexes and I listen to guys on Anons. The Anons kill them. And the Flexes are no slouches on audio. Maybe it's just something to do with the way the guys set them up, but there is no contest between a Flex and an Anon as far as audio goes for ESSP. From what I hear, yeah. Anyways, Rob, yeah, you guys have any ideas, forward them to me. Shoot me a quick email. I'll get them on the stream here. But I think this is something we really need to explore as enthusiasts and people who are looking to push the envelope into this new world, because I really believe in the next couple of years, you're going to see an evolution take place and a revolution take place. It started with the introduction of SDR technology, but you got to get it so that it's latency free and it is incorporated into an HF rig with so it allows you to transmit. It's a seamless marriage between receive and transmit. See, most guys SDR, these dongles and stuff, they were never designed to be used like this. You know, these web SDRs, that's what they're for. They're just meant for listening. But there's got to be somebody working on something out there that brings this technology. Think about that. $20 to $50. You need someone who will come up with some incredible algorithms for some software for noise reduction, filtering, and $20 to $50. And you basically got a Flex sitting there. Now, yeah, you're not going to have the transmit availability of the Flex along if you're limited to one antenna, one receiver, but so what? You're not. Grab a cheap RTL SDR dongle, feed a receive antenna into that, and load that onto another PAN adapter and monitor it. You see where I'm going? It's pretty cool, isn't it? Anyways, great to see you, Steve. W2MJR, and all the rest of you guys in here. Rob, pleasure. And you guys, thanks for watching. I much appreciate it. And this really gets me jazzed, you know. We all need to put together an information database on this stuff for people like me, others that are trying to do stuff like this. And maybe it'll grab the attention of some software developers. Who knows? No, we'll see. We'll see where we go from here. But it's almost like a black art, man, incorporating this into and onto an HF rig. and getting the latency low and the filtering and the stability, it's a total game changer, man. It really is. The level of control, the receive quality, holy crap. Noise reduction, oh yeah. Anyways, have a good one, you guys. John. John, you'll never plug that 857 back in with that 1500. Anyways, we'll catch you guys later. I'm going to sign off in the chat. Have a good one, 7-3, and thanks so much for watching. I much appreciate it. We'll catch you all later.
So what's the sign? A bus sign, usually a bus sign plus 50. Let's have a sign that sign off. So conditions are really changeable. So if you still copy, Steve, I won't hold you. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I really hope to catch you next time. I will be speaking about a few things we started speaking. So if you still copy, Steve, enjoy your evening. 7-3, good night. Until next time, and thank you so much.
Virginia, over. Okay, thank you, and 7-3s.
We need your call sign,
November 2, Juliet Charlie. November 2, Juliet Charlie, over. Charlie, Alpha, Beta, Charlie, C. QSL, good. You are 5-7 now in Eastern Virginia. QSL, thank you very much, and 7-3s to you. Bye-bye now, Charles.
Kilo 6, November 8, Hotel, Germany.
Kilo 4, Oscar, November, Charlie.
Whiskey 2, Lima, United. QSL 59 plus also, thank you.
Virginia, Fredericksburg, Virginia. My name is Dick, Delta India Charlie Kilo. Richard, so very good meeting you. Back to you, sir.
Okay, Dick, that's very good. I use Dick on CW, and I use Richard on sideband. So we have so many liberties there. Very good signal here, 5.9 and about 10 dB over 9. You got a very strong signal.
2156, which is when we swapped our reports.
Bravo 2, Mike Hotel, Juliet, go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
Did you say 5.9 over?
Frozen to the ground or just too wet to pick up, so it's a challenge. I'm not sure. May have to wait for spring to blow them away, but like Dave, we been playing fireplace. We got the chimneys cleaned out and hit 2 trees that came down quite a while back. They've been laying out in back ash dead trees that I've been wanting to cut up and split, and I got a chance to do that Saturday. Or was that Friday? I don't know, the other day. Hard to keep track of what day of the week it is. The only days I know for sure is Sunday because I go to church, and I usually take a day off. But we've been more than our share of busy, but it sounds like this is the time of the year for it.